Have you noticed that Amber Heard is slowly making her return to Hollywood? With renewed interest in last year's defamation trial, it seems as though all eyes will be on her in the coming months. But some people are saying that karma is going to be catching up with her. So in this video, we're going to be counting down the top 10 Amber Heard moments that prove karma is real. Number 10, locked out of her car. Last year, Amber was spotted by Raven-Symoné and her wife at a gas station while she was charging her Tesla. She was seen screaming and crying on the phone. Raven then gets dared to take a picture with Amber, but that led to her getting locked out of her own Tesla. Apparently, when the actress went back to her car after the photo, it was locked with her phone inside, her purse inside, and her jacket. But did Raven-Symoné stick around to help her out? Well, surprisingly, no. She just laughed about it. The former View host then turned on the camera and said, "Amber, I'm so sorry you got locked out of your car, but my picture is amazing." She pointed to a selfie of the two of them at the top of the screen. The funniest part about this was that Amber apparently had no idea who Raven was when she asked to take a photo with her. So far, that video has around 5 million views on YouTube, and the comments are hilarious. One person wrote, "Not someone with a 5-minute career not knowing an OG with decades-long career." This was also hilarious. And getting the selfie was just a savage receipt. Number 9, the insurance company lawsuit. It was believed that the ordeal between Amber and Johnny ended with their infamous lawsuit. Now, however, it looks like she is once again facing legal issues following the outcome of the trial. Their two legal teams eventually settled the amount which Amber owed, and it turned out to be as much as $15 million. It wasn't long after that she eventually moved to Spain with her daughter to get back on her feet, but now she's once again dealing with legal issues. Her insurance company, New York Marine and General Insurance Co., refuses to drop their case against her. They've already worked out a deal with Depp's team, so she really wants the insurance company to drop their case. Their lawsuit started after she demanded that they pay a portion of her fees owed to by Johnny, and although they acknowledged that she had a $1 million liability policy, one that does cover defamation, there's a provision that they're using against her. Specifically, they claim that they're not liable if she is found to have willfully committed the wrongful conduct. But even now that the amount that she owes him is settled, the company is still refusing to drop the case. Amber pleaded with the judge and said that there is nothing left to dispute, but the insurance company still refuses to stipulate to dismissal of their claims. Number 8, wanted in Australia. You may remember Amber and Johnny were caught illegally smuggling her Yorkshire Terriers into Australia during that trip in 2015. They defied Australia's Quarantine Act, which requires dogs entering the country from the US to be declared and spend 10 days in quarantine. Amber allegedly said no on her immigration form when asked if she needed to declare any animals, which resulted in her getting in trouble with the Australian government for breaching biosecurity laws. The couple were told in May of 2015 that they could get the dogs out of the country, or Aussie officials would put down the pups, named Boo and Pistol. When asked why Depp wasn't charged as well, the prosecutor's office said that there had been a lack of admissible evidence against anyone except Amber. In a statement, the Australian Department of Agriculture, Water and the Environment said that they are, quote, investigating allegations of perjury by Ms. Heard during court proceedings for the 2015 illegal importation of her 2 dogs into Australia. They added that investigations are ongoing over allegations that she lied under oath. This was an incredibly serious matter given that perjury carries a maximum jail term of 14 years, while illegal importation can result in a 7-year stretch under the Queensland Penal Code. Number 7, the settlement. Almost a year after the trial ended, Johnny has finally received a settlement of $1 million from Amber's insurance company. He's also chosen the charities that he plans to donate that to. The source close to the actor recently confirmed that he has chosen 5 charities to donate the settlement funds, which include the Make a Film Foundation, the Painted Turtle, Red Feather, Marlon Brando's Tetiaroa Society charity, and the Amazonia Fund Alliance. He plans to donate $200,000 to each of these 5 charities. The Virginia jury originally awarded him $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive damages, while Amber was awarded $2 million in compensatory damages. The former couple later came to a settlement in December when she agreed to pay him $1 million. At the time, she released a statement saying, "I have made no omission. This is not an act of concession. It's important for me to say that I never chose this. I defended my truth, and in doing so, my life as I knew it was destroyed." While Johnny's lawyer said in a statement that he pledged to donate the settlement money to charity, and it looks like he is making good on his promise. Number 6, cut out of Aquaman. Several months ago, audience members at CinemaCon were able to view the first trailer for Aquaman in an exclusive screening. Some of them were pretty shocked to see that Amber's character Mira made a brief cameo in the movie, apparently during a battle scene. It's not really a big role, but she is definitely there. During the defamation trial, she testified that her part in the film film was significantly cut down after Johnny's legal team called her claims a hoax. She said, "I fought really hard to stay in the movie. They didn't want to include me in the film." Later on, the head of DC Films, Walter Hamada, was called to the stand to talk about diminished screen time. He claimed that the size of her role was determined in the early development of the script and it was mostly cut down due to lack of chemistry between her and Jason Momoa. This might turn out to be a good decision given the fact that they spent $200 million making this movie, so there is always a lot riding on these kind of superhero films. But as the film was going through post-production this year, it actually wasn't performing very well at test screenings. An insider named Viewer Anon described the consensus of Aquaman 2 as boring, not as good as the first, and potentially one of the worst DCEU movies ever made, even after it went through half a dozen test screenings. So judging by those really harsh reviews, all we can do is wait and see what DC has in store. Number 5, called out in court. During the defamation trial, Amber was evaluated by clinical psychologist Dr. Shannon Curry, who said that she had grossly exaggerated her symptoms of PTSD. Amber was evaluated over a period of 12 hours in the span of 2 days. The doctor then testified that not only did she not have PTSD, but that she had something else entirely. The result of the test supported 2 diagnoses: borderline personality disorder and histrionic personality disorder. The doctor concluded that Amber had a very sophisticated way of minimizing any personal problems, while having a lot of inner hostility and externalizing blame. She added that there was a desperate fear of abandonment among those with borderline personality disorder, and that the reaction to that is to try to keep a significant other close, and this behavior can become extreme. Quote, "When someone is afraid of being abandoned by their partner or by anyone else in their environment, and they have this disorder, they'll make desperate attacks to prevent that from happening, and those desperate attempts could be physical aggression, it could be threatening, it could be harming themselves, but these are behaviors that are very extreme and very concerning to the people around them." The doctor said that in this case, Amber was prone to reacting in a heightened manner that is exhausting for her partners. Number 4, exposed for the fake pledge. When the ACLU said to Amber that she only donated $1.3 million of the $3.5 million that she pledged to the organization from her divorce settlement, Terrence Doherty, the general counsel and chief operating officer, said in a recorded deposition that the organization received 4 donations from her, which totaled $1.3 million. However, when Johnny and Amber reached a divorce settlement in 2016, she announced that she would donate the entirety of her $7 million divorce settlement to charity, saying that the money would be split between the 2 organizations, the American Civil Liberties Union and the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, which meant that the ACLU should have received $3.5 million. But it turns out that only one of those payments was from Amber directly, a payment of $350,000 back in August. The other payments were from Johnny and a fund set up by Elon Musk. Later on in the trial, when Amber took to the stand, she said that she still planned to donate all the money that she promised, claiming that it was the trial that was stalling her payments. Number 3, caught in a lie. During a testimony from Morgan Tremaine, the former TMZ journalist, he established that the celebrity news publication had been able to publish exclusive photos and videos of Amber during the early stages of her contentious divorce from Johnny, based on tips that they received about her whereabouts. This contradicted the recorded testimony from Amber, saying that she was caught off guard by the presence of the photographers, and that she had no idea how TMZ got a hold of the story. Tremaine testified that he dispatched paparazzi to stay outside of the LA courthouse based on an anonymous tip to capture photos of her in 2016, when she filed for a temporary restraining order against Johnny. During the cross-examination, Elaine Brenhoft said to Tremaine, quote, "This gets you your 15 minutes of fame, doesn't it?" In response, he said, "I could say the same thing about you taking Amber Heard as a client." That wasn't just a sick burn, the way that he clapped back at Elaine was truly an amazing courtroom moment. Number 2, the poop testimony. Johnny Depp told the court that as his relationship with Amber unraveled, he wanted to collect his belongings from the LA penthouse. He said that he let their security guards know he planned to go inside the building, but he received a message from them saying that it wasn't a good time. Johnny said that he wanted to know why, and when he was told that he should wait because there was a quote, human fecal matter on his side of the bed. The actor then added that he was sent a picture of the feces as proof, saying that it was so bizarre and so grotesque that he could only laugh. Well, I'm sure that that was the court's reaction too. He said that when confronted, Amber tried to blame it on their Yorkies, but from the way that he described the whole incident, it was clear that she had actually defecated on the bed. His bodyguard, Starling Jenkins, told the court that he spoke to Amber about the surprise that she left in his boss's bed prior to leaving the apartment, and at the time, she called it a horrible practical joke gone wrong. And coming in at number 1, my dog stepped on a bee. Amber narrated the events surrounding a 2013 trip that she and Johnny took with their friends. She ended the story by claiming that her dog stepped on a bee the very next day, which which led them to taking the dog to the vet. A lot of people were confused about the relevance of her statement, seeing that it had very little to do with the important event that she was describing. But after saying the line, she paused as if to wince in pain. That moment went mega viral. The entire internet seemed to joke about the moment, and many hopped on TikTok to imitate her expression. They became obsessed with the clip and stitching together videos of their own random rhymes and winces. In the end, hundreds of videos were made, gathering hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views. Even celebrities like Doja Cat got in on the trend. She was mimicking Amber's testimony and went on TikTok explaining how her puppy also got stung by a bee, while squinting her eyes and jerking her head. After that video resurfaced, backlash exploded on Twitter, and fans were not happy that the singer was using her platform to pile on Amber. But for some reason, so many people were doing the same thing at the time. It was probably one of the most iconic testimonies of the trial. So what do you guys think about this video? Please let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one.